same page. Has anybody ever heard of utopia? So, utopia stands for United Territories of Pacific Islanders Alliance. We've been in existence since 1998. Were we all born in 1998? Oh, okay. So, Utopia is a group that is made up of Samoan, Tongan, Hawaiian, Fijian, Filipinos, African American, Latin. And the reason why that we kind of formed this organization back in 1998 was because we felt it necessary for Fa'afafingans, Fakaleti, Mahus, gays, queens, bisexual, transgenders. That's what our group is made up of. So how many here have Fa'afafingans or gay people in their family? So look at half of the room. So the reason why I like to come out and talk to you guys is because just to remind you that we play a very important part in our family, right? What do some of the gay people or men and women in your family do? Do you know? Does anybody have any idea of what goes on? Are they respected in your family? Yeah? So a lot of times we are babysitters, right? We are bus drivers. We take y'all to school. We help our parents out. How many know what a fa'alavelave is? Okay? Where there is family, that means support maybe financially for a wedding, a funeral, a baptism, whatever it is, we are there to help. And see, sometimes we get lost in all that, and you just see the visual of what a gay person is. Now, you know, in recent years, there have been a lot of bullying of young people because of their sexuality. And how many here know Samoans are pretty big people, right? When we walk down the street, people are pretty scared of our people. So bullying, how many of you know what bullying is, first of all? Calling people names, making somebody not feel right. It's not cool, right? I mean, nobody likes to be called names. So what we try to do is come out and just educate people the importance of what we play in our culture, in our Samoan culture, in our Tongan culture, and you know, we're pretty valuable as part of the family, and we just don't want you guys to forget that. So, a lot of people think, well, can gay people have kids? Yeah, we can have kids. Some of us do have kids. I have a son, and when he started to have questions about his dad, he was 10 years old. But prior to that, he kept asking me, Dad, I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you, because I'm pretty sure amongst his friends, they were like, dude, your dad? You know, in the Samoan community, especially going to school, that was pretty difficult. So I kept on telling my son, you're not ready yet. You're not ready. I can't talk to you about that. You're not ready yet. He kept on persisting and persisting, and I knew what that question was going to be. So finally, when he asked me one more time, Dad, I need to talk to you, and I was like, you're not ready. He goes, no, you're not ready. So that made me realize we had to have the talk. He was 10 years old. We went upstairs, got on my bed, and I sat there and I go, what is it? And he's like, are you gay? And that was like, I was not ready for that. I didn't prepare myself to answer that. So I was like, yeah. And he started crying. And I thought, oh my God. Now, you know, he's like, he's traumatized. You know, my son is like, oh my God. So he's crying, I start crying, we're both crying. And he looks at me and goes, does that mean I have to be gay too? So I started laughing. I was like, is that why you're crying? He's like, because I like girls. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to be gay because your dad's gay. So he started laughing, I started laughing. So my point is, it's very important to communicate, you know, to talk. So of course, after I told him, and after he told me, well, I like girls, and I'm like, well, cool, that's fine. Then he started asking more questions. So it kind of opened up a dialogue between gay people and straight people. he's one of the biggest advocates. So you know a lot of our transgenders or the men who look like women, since they're around my family a lot, Sana knows how to work them. You know, just like you guys, you call everybody auntie, uncle. We're not really related, but that's a respect thing. So when my son would see a transgender or a papafinya, he would call him auntie, auntie. You know, they felt like, oh, he's respectful, you know, he's respectful to me. But when Sana wanted something from me, he'd go, uncle, and they're like, did you just call me uncle? So, you know, he had that rapport with them. So I just want you guys to remember that if you're somebody who acts a little different, or if you have issues about talking about gay people, you can always talk to them, because it's empowering. The more people you know, the different cultures you know, just like this class, it's teaching you how to speak your language, teaching you how to write your language. This is something that is very important. I grew up, born and raised here, didn't know how to speak Samoan, and I shared a story with Doris. At one time, I didn't even know how to spell my name, my Samoan name. I was like, when I went to the DMV, they were like, well, you have to sign your name the way it's on the birth certificate. I looked on the birth certificate, and it was Yaraneo Tawailoti there. I'm like, okay. So I had to like try to remember it, because I always just went by my Balani or my American name. So don't feel embarrassed if you don't know. But look, you're here. You're learning. You have somebody that's going to teach you all those things. It's very important. So now I'm going to open up to you. Do you have any questions about any issues with gay people or concerns that you might have? I know you guys do, because a lot of times you're embarrassed to ask. But listen, we're all a part of family here, so if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Oh, so y'all know everything about gay people. How about a comment? Are there any comments, like stereotypes? Wow, y'all are just really good. No?
I have a question.
Okay.
Why is there so much papafingas in our culture?
You know, that's a really good question. I have no... Okay, so the question was, why are there so many papafingas in our culture? One of the reasons is because, you know what? Our culture is very accepting. It wasn't an issue until we came here and started seeing what everybody perceived as being wrong. Back in Samoa, papafingas are educators, homemakers. Listen, double duty. We can not only clean the house and cook, but we can go outside, climb that coconut tree and get that taro off the ground. So, you know, they utilize this. I mean, it was very accepting. However, when we came here, it all of a sudden became a problem. When I went to high school, you know, they look at me like, you're going to be on the football team, you're going to do this? You know, I was like, no, but I will do dancing. And they're like, so the perception of what is a straight man and what is acceptable, I had to fight through high school. So be very proud. We come from a culture that is very much embracing of everything. So that's why with Utopia, we've kind of opened it up, not only to just Polynesians, but to everybody, because that's what our culture is about. We just want to teach everybody and share everybody the love that we have. Any other questions? So, you guys are a good class. So I'm going to introduce somebody who, well, he's going to perform a song for you. He's going to be part of your writing curriculum or help you. So my son, Sana, he went to the School of the Arts. How many people know of San Francisco School of the Arts? So, just a quick story about that. We live in the hood. How many people know where Sunnydale is? Sunnydale, right? That's where we live. And he was slated to go to a school in the area. But in his middle school, they kind of saw there was some sort of potential for him to go to a music school or a school of the arts. And enabled for him to go to the School of the Arts, he had to audition. Just like you would have to audition for the X Factor, American Idol, any one of those shows. So, as a parent, of course we want the best for our kids, right? Some of y'all want to go play football, some want to become writers, whatever. So I figured, I'm going to take my son up there and I'm going to just let him go audition. Not knowing the process to go to audition, he had to have what's called a portfolio. How many people know what a portfolio is? So he had to have a portfolio. I come from the hood. I don't know what a portfolio is. We just show up. He had to have a music teacher, somebody who taught him voice. He had to have all those things, and we didn't have none of them. But there were other kids who were auditioning who had their portfolio, had their piano teacher, they were classically trained. They weren't like Beyonce singers or you know, what you have nowadays. So here we are, myself and my son, being very hood and very scared, walking in to a cold audition. Kids were singing songs that were required to get into that school, maybe classical, whatever. My son had a John Legend song that he went to sing. He sang for them the first time, he got denied. So of course we were like, he's not going to come to this school. They called us back, and they wanted to hear him because it was a new person that was going to be teaching music. So he sang for this guy. His name was Todd Wedge. And he was just like blown away, like, wow, he's had no training? He's had no portfolio, no nothing? So we were told, we'll call you, don't call us. 2 days before school was to start, we got the call. He was accepted. That was like amazing, right? So now I'm thinking, he's going to be going to an art school. He's going to be going, you know. He hated it. He was like, I don't want to go to this school. I want to go where all my friends and my cousins are at. And I'm like, what? The first year, it was like, he hated it. I want to go to Thursday with Marshall with all my friends and they don't look like me and yada, 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 yada. After that first year, his tone started to change. He fell in love with that school. He learned things that they couldn't teach him in other schools. So you need to broaden your horizons too. Don't stay in a little box thinking, I'm just going to be with my family. That's all I know. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go to church. I'm going to play the youth. I'm going to play football. And then I'm going to hang out on the street corner and hung out. No. There is such possibilities for you. So here he is. He hates it when I talk about him, but I don't care. I'm the dad. I can do whatever I want. And he'll sing a song for you, and then if Reno wants to join in, because there's another singer right here. How many of you heard Reno sing? See? So thank you very much. And no questions for me, huh? Good. I'm going to look y'all up.
Yes, round of applause.
Not going to sing with me? What song?
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute on. I never thought the love we'd be making lovely as she. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Isn't she pretty? Run of the angels best. Girl, I'm so happy. I never thought that love we'd be making lovely as she. Isn't she lovely? Made from love.
hands that are new here, you just need a journal. Before I go. Yes. Can you raise your hand if you're new? So you guys, this is creative writing